Welcome to Just Us, the podcast where we explore the magic of nerdy living. I'm D&D-Wife, your artistic guide to all things geeky and wonderful.
And I'm DM Eguile, your seasoned storyteller and passionate gamer. Together we're here to share our adventures and insights into living a fulfilling nerdy life.
Each week we dive into topics like navigating relationships in a nerdy world, maximizing your RPG experiences in small spaces, and growing your own herbs and veggies on a tiny patio.
We'll also share our favorite hobbies, budget-friendly tips for having epic fun, and stories from our homebrew world of Extreas.
Whether you're a fellow nerd, a tabletop enthusiast, or just looking for inspiration to pursue your passions, we've got something for you.
So grab your dice, your favorite snacks, and join us for a journey into the heart of nerdy living.
Tune in to Just Us, where love, creativity, and adventure are always on the agenda. Welcome back, my fellow nerds, and Happy New Year! You're listening to Just Us with your favorite nerdy couple, D&D-Wife and DM Eguile.
Tonight we're kicking off the year by talking about all things nerdy, including how we spent our holidays, our awesome trip to SacAnime Winter 2025, and our plans for the coming year.
From meeting legendary voice actors to freezing in the winter con lines, we've got some fun stories, tips, and future projects to share with you.
So grab your favorite snack, get cozy, and let's ring in the new year with some nerdy fun.
Absolutely. You know, first, Happy New Year, everyone. We're in 2025 now. We're so excited to be back with you for another year of nerdy fun.
Yeah, I mean, that's the kind of cool thing is that this kind of does mark the first complete year of the Couple of Nerds project.
Time to start year number 2.
So it's really kind of interesting to see us keep going. And, you know, we may have started the year a little sick and under the weather, but it didn't really stop us from enjoying at least some of the holidays.
Right. I still got a little bit of the sore throat going on.
Yeah, you can still kind of hear a little bit of the tickle in there. It kind of, you know, happens. But really, you know, it's important. I'm a big holiday person. You know, the end of the year, we actually finally get to celebrate a little bit and have those, like, holiday festive feelings. So, you know, you don't want to let something as, like, the flu kind of get you too down and miss out on the whole thing for a whole year.
It was tough. You know, a couple years ago, we caught a really bad flu as well. And getting sick again this year just kind of gave us like the PTSD back from that.
Right. And we were like, no, we are not going to let this, you know, slow us down.
Not
at
all.
It did hamper a little bit of our plans, but we did make sure that, you know, we kind of enjoyed ourselves, spent time together, and still made sure to be as nerdy as possible.
Even though we didn't do all the things we'd originally planned, it gave us kind of a chance to actually just stay home, watch some classic holiday movies, just enjoy simple moments together where it wasn't just go, go, go.
Yeah, like we tend to try to do, you know, it's like once the holidays kick in, it's like only holiday movies. So when Thanksgiving's around, it's only Thanksgiving style movies, which there are not enough Thanksgiving movies, by the way. We should do like a talk later.
Yeah, we found like 2.
There's a severe lackage of good Thanksgiving movies.
And like Addams Family Values barely counts.
Right, and that's like the one we do. But then, you know, Christmas time, there's just so many to watch. You know, we definitely like to watch our Die Hard. That is a Christmas tradition.
Heck yeah.
You've fallen in love with Noelle.
I love that movie.
Yeah, right. We tend to now have been watching that quite regularly.
Great, but I'm also just like in love with Anna Kendrick. She's my spirit
animal.
animal.
We did the Santa Clauses this year, which was, I think, a first for you.
I've never seen, as horrible as that sounds, I know to all you movie files out there, I have not seen or had not seen the Santa Claus franchise at all, and we just started it this year. It was so cool.
I mean, watch Home Alone. I mean, to us, that's always kind of like the quintessential, and a lot of times we just have them playing in the background, and it's just a matter of it kind of creates the festive kind of season. You know, it's also, you know, it you know, being sick, I think also kind of shows you just like, you know, you're working so hard for the holidays, and I was working doubles and doubles, and you were working right because it's the holidays. You're trying to make all the money, and we were trying to go to SacAnime and you know, raise the money to go to that because, as you fellow nerds know, it is not cheap to be a nerd.
No. Requires a small fortune to go. So, you know, DM Eguile over here was working his butt off to make sure we had a little fortune to go and spend.
Yeah, and so that was, really important because, the big culminating event was that we were going to go to SacAnime Winter.
Yeah.
For as you guys have been hearing, we go pretty much regularly to the summer and winter SacAnimes.
Yeah.
And at this point, I believe we are on number 6 that we've gone. So now we have started to become regular attendees, and we kind of like that. It's very close to us.
Yeah.
It's something fun. So, but it really was like, honestly, no joke, at that point of like how sick we were, I figured we probably weren't going to go.
Yeah.
At least not the entirety of the event.
You were worried because I got sick after you.
Yep, which made it worse.
Yeah, so he got sick. I took care of him, of course, because he's my husband. But then I got sick, and I got sick like a few days behind you. So you were getting over an illness, and I was just getting into one. And then I was like 3 days in, and I had just been pumping Dayquil
and NyQuil.
Yep, and just doing everything I could. Echinacea, drinking tea and lemon and honey, and just making sure that I was like, I have to be good for SacAnime.
Right, and it was too, because it became like, okay, well, maybe, we won't go Friday, but we can try to go Saturday and Sunday. Or then it was like, well, if we can't go Saturday, maybe at least Sunday. It's like you start kind of like bargaining with the universe of like, hey, I will suffer this now, but just give me one day. The nice thing about this particular con is like, if you don't use your tickets, you can use them on the next one. But it's still like, you don't want to miss out.
No.
And it was totally worth it. That Friday especially, because I think I only got maybe 2 hours of sleep that night.
Yeah.
Between taking care of you and just still being
recovering,
like kind of sick, right? But I was like, I didn't care. I had the energy of all nerdiness getting me to that convention.
I don't know what it is. Just when we walked in there, it was like everything fell off. All the exhaustion of the last few days.
I was being recharged.
No joke, actually. It just felt really nice. And then once you're in there, also it's like really warm. So I think it helped.
And I think the big deal too is that, when we first started going to these cons, a big deal was, this kind of realization of like, oh my goodness, we can see our favorite voice actors and go. And the first couple of cons, it was kind of people we didn't know. But the last couple of ones have been kind of big deals. And the big one for this one was kind of a lifelong one that we didn't quite know when would happen, but that was being able to go to the convention where Sean Schemmel, aka the voice of Goku, was actually going to be, attending and be something realistic that you can go to. A big, great point of SacAnime is that, as long as you have the time, if you get there, you'll pretty much get to see whoever.
Yeah. If you plan ahead and you're really good about it, and you also kind of check out the lines, make sure you're on top of it, you can pretty much get anyone you want.
Right. And we talked about it a few times about the Christopher Sabat line taking 7.5 hours.
It was just as bad this time. It was just as bad.
The Sean Schemmel luckily was not that bad.
No. Christopher Sabat's line was just as bad this time.
But meeting Sean Schemmel was just freaking incredible.
It was amazing.
I've been watching TVZ since like it was kind of almost my first foray into anime, and just to hear and see this person. That was just awesome. And it was crazy because as we talked to him, he's recently had a passing in the family and chose to not cancel because he didn't want to let people down, even though he was unshaven. He was like, I'm just not really dealing with it right now.
He was grieving. He wasn't really ready to do anything.
Yeah. And it was so awesome just to see kind of that commitment to fans, obviously that have been around for 20 something years. And to see that, and it just, I think makes it what's so special. Right? Like, so everyone seeing that, hearing that is just another connection that you have with your fandom, with the ones you want to see. And I mean, that's going to be a moment that's going to stick with us forever.
Yeah. I think that's one of the reasons I've come to love going to these conventions so much is not just getting these signatures and getting to meet these celebrities.
No, it is awesome.
It is awesome. Don't get me wrong. I will act like the biggest fangirl when I'm there. Okay. But the biggest thing is seeing just how committed these people are to their careers, to their fans, to their characters, and the lengths that they will go to make sure that we're taken care of is incredible, even to their own detriment, which I don't recommend, but I will say I appreciate that they go through such lengths.
Right.
Mm-hmm. And there were so many other cool things to see too.
Big changes this year.
It got huge. SacAnime is multi-building a convention now.
Yeah,
it's insane. It's not just the Sheraton now; it's the convention center, and now it's like the church next door.
Yeah, and they got some kinks to work out.
Yeah, they've got a few things.
You can't put Sweaty Nerds and Dance Revolution in small buildings.
In small rooms.
That's gonna stank up real quick.
It's gonna get bad. And so they moved a lot of the gaming over to sort of smaller rooms, and that's where we got a little bit of the
onions.
Yeah, the smell test. But because they moved the gaming section, we got so many more vendors, so many more art booths. Everything was just exponentially bigger.
Third more that normally was there, and the spacing was better this year.
Absolutely,
they kind of opened the lanes, so there was a lot more space to walk around. It wasn't so cramped. And not so cramped.
I saw a few people in wheelchairs, and I think they were super happy because there wasn't like this crushing throng of people that they had to like squeeze through to get there. It was really open and nice.
Right, and we were able to find like great prints from a vendor we've gotten. I mean, a couple of vendors that we've gotten. Shout out to J101.
J101.
We get a lot of items for her. She's a great little vendor out there. Sells a lot of great,
amazing
art.
Acrylic art. Love her paintings. It's all anime or media themed. Yeah, it's really cool.
I got a cool Gundam print that is just freaking amazing. Now that we have it in a frame,
so beautiful. It looks like a museum piece.
Right, and then we were able to even check off even more of like our autographs that we've been hunting down. One was a big one for you, which was Bryce Papenbrook.
Yeah, absolutely. He's the voice of Kirito.
And dude, I guess it's the nature of the characters because he has all these like screamy characters.
Yeah, he does.
Because that guy was the entire time you're just hearing him scream and yell as he's giving out like and just having a blast.
Because he's one of those voice actors that once he knows which character you love, he will jump into that character for you.
If you came up with a Inosuke pop, he became Inosuke. He came with a Kirito, he became Kirito. It was so awesome.
And just
that extra little touch.
Yeah, just getting to meet him. We took a selfie. It was so much fun. We told him that I had a signed Asuna that I got.
So we had to get a quote.
Had to get the accompanying. Yeah, hers says love and light, and his is the quote where he's giving his life to Asuna for eternity, and I just think that's so beautiful.
Freaking dope.
It was great.
Then we also got to meet Alex Brightman,
another bucket list,
which was a big one because we have this giant has-been poster that we're having signed, and he was one of the ones that we were missing. We're only missing Brandon Rogers,
and we weren't able to catch him last time, so it was really nice to get him this time.
And so the cool thing too with him was that he voices two different characters in the kind of the show, and we originally were just like, you would even
we'll give him the option to sign either or.
You were like, you can pick we want, and he was like, I'll just sign both. And I remember you being like, well, we only paid for one. And he's like, I'll do whatever I want.
It's my signature,
right? So it was really cool of him to kind of do that double signature and really kind of make it even more unique of a piece for us.
Yeah, because we love that he's Adam and he's Serpentious, which is literally the best and the worst characters in the show.
And then we got to meet the original Alistar voice, which was cool to have that signature this time around.
And so now we have both of the Alistar signatures on that has been poster, which is so just incredible to have on there. We love them both, and it's just so excited.
And then, of course, to save the best is that we got to meet more of the Critical Role cast and crew, which was awesome again, as this time Sam and Liam were at SacAnime, which is also another great reason to go to SacAnime.
Absolutely.
Which we got another photo op with those two, which was a great experience. But this time, we also got to go and have them sign and autograph the Funkos. It was fun. They were just having a blast. There was moments where I think Liam's manager finally had realized that his fly had been down, and
she called him on it.
there were probably some 20, 30 probably pictures or selfies that were taken with his fly down.
Yep.
Which I thought was pretty fucking funny. So it's just one of those things where it's like, hey, it's even more special of a picture.
Right? A lot of those girls are going to go home real happy.
Yeah, and the photo ops that SacAnime offer are really fun. You get to do that, but they are these like quick moments, but when you actually wait in the line and you get to talk to them, it was so much more of an interaction with each of them.
Absolutely. They spent a lot of time talking to the fans.
And not only do they sign our pops, but they also signed our dice tray that we have going that was also signed by Robbie Damon.
Yeah.
And we're hopefully getting more and more, and each of them kind of added a little epitaph for us, which is really nice.
Yeah, we didn't pay for quotes, but each of them added a little like lucky roll sort of wish for us,
which is nice. Sam gave us inspiration. But it's those little things that just make it so great, because you can find items and gifts and stuff that you wouldn't really, yes, you could buy online.
Yeah.
But like I always say to you is like, well, now I get to not worry about it being shipped and broken
or damaged.
So maybe pay a little extra, but it goes home with me today.
Yeah. And you don't also have to worry about it being delivered to the wrong place, delivered and then stolen off your porch, so there's just so much less stress that goes at buying it at conventions. And, one thing I will say about the winter con, the weather for this winter con, it was utterly freezing outside. I don't think
that we were recovering.
Yeah, we were feeling sick, and I just don't think I've ever been that cold at a convention before. The wind hurt.
Now, as a pre-note, obviously this is California, and so Californians, we have a tendency to say,
I'm a little bit of a wimp. I will admit it. I will admit it.
But it also is kind of one of those things you deal with, and we were regular. I can only share my admiration and also joint pain in the people who were cosplaying in the cold weather. That's got to be tough. But it's always worth it. Even if you're standing out line huddled together trying to keep warm, and especially your fingers going cold. You just know that the funny thing is like we had like jackets and stuff, but the moment you get into the con, it has to come off because it's so hot. It was so hot and sweltering. So it's like you're just kind of like danged if you do, damned if you don't, because there's nothing you can really do to get away from it. But it was funny in kind of our sick state, the humid, hot room was actually more preferred, because as soon as we went outside, I remember just trying to like keep up with you as I'm walking. I'm like breathing hard.
Yeah, you said your lungs were like seizing almost because
it
was so
cold. As we went from like a hot, sweaty room to the outside,
and it's
in the
like
cold.
One to the next. Like you go out the open door and there's no buffer. Like it's just warm, nice air, immediate freezing wall.
Right. And so, but SacAnime always is fun. It's an enjoyable endeavor. We always get a lot of fun treats and candies and all kinds of foods.
The food vendors, how we were kind of upset that there weren't enough food vendors last time. There were so many food vendors this time.
Yeah, definitely was a lot more fun. And,
super happy with that.
And it just shows that, SacAnime is growing, and it's always going to keep kind of changing. And I know it's got a little bit of pros and cons, and some people have negative ideas, which is fine. But for us, it is a great experience every year. We recommend people to go at least once, especially if you see your favorite actors.
A convention near you, a local convention.
It's just a fun way to get and be around all your fellow nerds.
Yeah, have a good time,
But speaking of which, obviously we are looking ahead to 2025. We have a new year. This is
year number 2.
Especially with just us, as we started this podcast endeavor with just us as the very first episode. And we are now celebrating the full 1-year anniversary of Just Us and the Couple of Nerds program. But we do have tons of goals. We don't want to just stay stagnant. We have plans, though the content may be spreading out a little more. We might not have as many episodes. We are planning a lot of improvements to those episodes.
We've got some exciting plans for this year, and we can't wait to share them with you. The first thing is that we're hoping to turn this podcast into a video podcast soon.
Yeah, you can see our ugly mugs and see us and enjoy with a little bit, and that way we can show a little bit more of the art and kind of us as well, to connect a little better to the community, and hopefully kind of put ourselves out there. there, which we're both a little nervous about. But we're hoping that this will bring a little bit more to the Just Us and You Heard It From Us community.
Yeah, put a face to the names, you know?
But we also have other plans as well, as we are planning to start live streaming video gaming together.
Yeah.
We've always wanted to do this. We've been trying to find time and trying to bring up a new laptop or new computer because I currently operate everything a couple of nerds off of my laptop.
Yeah, and an older one at that. So.
Yeah, with like a cooling pad and a fan and everything. But we're finally upgrading. And doing so, we have tons of different co-op games. Me, obviously, being the more experienced player, and you, unfortunately, being the rookie. But we definitely want to try out some games with some community people, Project Zomboid, Baldur's Gate, different things.
Now, I will preface this by saying I am a console noob because I never owned a console growing up, but computer games, I am down, okay?
But we're hoping, this will create more of a community, allow us to kind of connect more, see us online, see what we're playing, hopefully join in and play us, as well as see more of the travelers and all the other players that happen to play on our D&D campaigns.
Some of them also live stream some of their game live streams and stuff on our Discord, so you'll be able to see that too. And I think one of my personal goals for this year is probably to obviously continue more mini painting because my pile of shame never goes away. So I always have to keep that up. But I think I also want to do a little more crochet this year.
Right.
Yeah, I've been really looking into some crochet cosplays that I want to do for the next SacAnime. And so, I want to get into that.
Right. Yeah. I think, for me, this next year, it's more of just kind of kicking a little more up on the Couple of Nerds, program, as well as getting more on our Discord. I think that's a big one that I want to be more available to, not only to the, new and upstarting DMs that we have had a few that have been asking questions. And I think being a little bit more available on stream or in person might be a little more helpful in that regard.
Plus, it'll give you guys a chance to ask any questions you might have, get some information.
What we're planning on is the year 2025 to be the year of creativity and connection amongst the community and our fans. As always, we've appreciated every single one of you. At the point of this recording, we're at 73 subscribers on YouTube. We have a nice, healthy, growing community on Discord. And all of this is thanks to all of you listeners out there. We could not done it. To have you listen to our lives and want to connect and share
Two
your
random
stories
nerds on the internet
have been some of the most fun we've had over the course of this last year, which is what is motivating us to keep continuing and to bring more and more content that hopefully everyone out there enjoys.
Absolutely. But thank you so much for joining us and kicking off the new year with us. We're so excited for what's ahead, and we're glad that you're on this journey with us too.
But always, don't forget to join our Discord. We would love to hear about your new plans. Do you have any personal resolutions? Do you have any D&D resolutions?
Right, let us know.
Do you have a new character class you want to build, or have you been hiding a new background that no one knows? We want to hear. Also, were you at SacAnime? If you were at SacAnime Winter, let us know. We want to see other people and hopefully run into our listeners at the episodes. Because what's not better than to get together for a real-life photo to show everyone that we do exist, and we're really out there and we're really going to these places.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much for hanging out with us as we kicked off the new year in style with Just Us. We had so much fun sharing our stories, and we can't wait to bring you more nerdy goodness throughout 2025.
As always, we thank you for every like, for every subscription, every review, and every bit of talk that you share with us on our Discord. It really helps us out. Remember, we're always available. Never feel like you can't ask us a message, a question. Join us in the Bardic Tavern and just share and recount in your stories of 2024 and your hopes for 2025.
Until next time, stay safe, stay nerdy, and we'll catch you on the next episode of Just Us. Bye everyone. Thanks for joining us on this episode of Just Us. We hope you enjoyed diving into our nerdy world and picked up some tips for your own adventures.
We'd love to hear about your own nerdy hobbies and see your unique living spaces. Connect with us on a Couple of Nerds Discord. Share your stories, photos, and join the conversation with fellow nerds.
And don't forget to check out our Couple of Nerds YouTube channel. We post videos showcasing the hobbies, crafts, and small living space innovations we cover in each episode.
Whether it's painting miniatures, growing a garden on your balcony, or setting up the perfect RPG space in your apartment, we've got plenty of inspiration and tips to share.
Subscribe, like, and comment on our videos and stay connected with us through all our adventures.
Until next time, keep embracing your inner nerd and living your best geeky life.
Thanks for listening to Just Us, where we come together in nerdy harmony.